Now comes the googly. Now let's see who answers this. No, whoever answers this gets a chocolate from me. Okay. So last batch there was a guy who texted me after 1 week and told me, "Sir, you promised me a chocolate." I said, "It'll take some time for me to courier it to you, but I'll give it to you for sure." Okay, Gregory King has a 55-year-old man has been brought to your emergency room by the paramedics, accompanied by a policeman. They tell you he's a bus driver. He's just driven into a tree, injuring himself and two passengers. He has a laceration on his head and appears disoriented, confused. The policeman asks you to obtain a blood sample to test the blood alcohol concentration, but you can see that Gregory is not capable of giving consent for this at present. What is the most appropriate action in these circumstances? Take a sample now. Wait till Gregory can give consent. Does that make sense? Let's see. Take a blood sample, but wait till Gregory is alert and oriented before testing, regardless of his willingness. Does it make sense? Or, I don't know. Take a blood sample immediately and give it for analysis as is a medico-legal case. Now, this is how things work in the subcontinent. Take consent from Gregory's emergency contact and draw the blood sample for immediate analysis. Inform the patient and policeman that you can only draw the sample once Gregory is able to consent for it. So, this question is one of the reasons why you need to participate in this testing discussion, because this is one of the most confusing questions ever in MRCS history. This is a question which has been asked not regularly, but at regular intervals, to be honest. The answer is A. I'll explain to you why this is. This is according to Police Reform Act. So what they say is that it's going to be very confusing. So you'll have to listen to me very carefully. And if you're not able to understand, I'm going to repeat it again. Police Reform Act says that you don't need consent from unconscious or incapacitated drivers to take sample. To take sample, you don't need consent. But to test it, you need consent. But now comes the googly. Now, a competent patient who refuses his sample to be tested is liable for prosecution. In this way, new law recognizes the clinician's duty for justice. So you need to sample him. Testing can be done later. I'll have to change this. It's not tested right away. It needs to be sampled right away. So you now get the point. Now you might ask me, what is the logic, Vinayak? If you need consent for sampling, then it means that consent for testing. And if he wants to give consent for testing, but if he doesn't give consent, then he can be prosecuted. And you might say that this is confusing, but unfortunately, law, like in most countries, it is very confusing and we cannot fathom it. Which means that you will have to understand this, remember this, and go and solve this question in your exam. And when you become consultants in UK, you will have to remember this. But at that point of time, there will be a lot of people to help you.